watching Jayson Tatum just, I don't want to say fake this happiness. It doesn't seem genuine. It just seems a little corny. I don't know. It doesn't seem, sounds like he's trying to force his own like Kobe finals moment.
What they gonna say now? What they gonna say now?
I know everybody will wonder what would happen if we didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
It's a surreal feeling. We did it. We did it! Oh my God, we did it!
How do you feel about this?
This NBA Finals was torture. I'm not gonna lie. This was just torture.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was just such a bad finals to watch. I think like the whole world outside of Boston was rooting for the Celtics. Everyone just did not want to see them win.
Yeah.
And watching Jayson Tatum just, I don't want to say fake this happiness. It doesn't seem genuine. It just seems a little corny. I don't know. It doesn't seem, sounds like he's trying to force his own like Kobe finals moment.
I feel like that's the running narrative because of the whole text message he sent to Kobe a couple years ago where it says like, I got you. So that's been like the running narrative, especially because how he dresses and all the other pictures he's done. But I don't agree that he's trying to force the Kobe moment. I think that one moment where he did the Kevin Garnett thing where it was like, anything's possible. And he's like, we did it.
It just felt like it's a moment where you're supposed to be happy. So you got to be like,
yeah.
I don't think he's processed it yet. I don't know.
No, I think they told him to do that. I think Boston told him to do that. Because look at the irony of it. It's like you're about to win banner number 18 on the anniversary of the last time the Celtics won the NBA Finals. They wanted that fucking moment for social media, the engagement, etc. I think he just remembered and was like, fuck, I got to do it. Now, any other moment I've seen of him, I'm going to be honest with you. I think the reason why people think it's not organic is because he has the personality of a fucking tree trunk.
That's the case.
So
they just
wait, hold on, but like, sorry, when you watch him on a normal day-to-day basis, this nigga is extremely stoic. Like he just doesn't give you any emotion. So the one time this nigga gives a sliver of emotion, it's just like, yo, what the fuck just happened here? It just looks weird.
This is very contrived.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know, I said Kobe texted back.
Shut up, nigga.
You know what he said?
What?
What's Jaylen Brown's number?
All right, that's not even funny. Leave this nigga alone.
But
his idol.
You know what the problem is?
What?
People don't like Tatum because, first off, you didn't win Finals MVP in this championship. You're supposed to be the top guy. You've been in MVP conversations. You've been in first team All NBA conversations, or I don't know if he was first team All NBA this year. And it's just the bar is set so high, and he always comes short of the bar in the playoffs. Like him personally, it's like he had a decent playoffs. Then Jaylen Brown outplayed him. He got carried by the trades his team made with Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday, and Derek White. Those guys were carrying him throughout the playoffs. Derek White and Drew Holiday were just insane all series. And also, a couple years ago they lost to the Warriors in the finals, and that was like the most beatable team. That was like a weak Warriors team that they should have beaten. That's not a team you should lose to. So it's like all these things, and now seeing them win now, it's just like, all right.
But what does it have to do with his lack of inauthenticity?
It's a part of the narrative of him not being liked and hated, and not wanting to see the Celtics win.
I think it's a stupid reason to hate him.
I think people, it's magnified because of that, because the standard is set so high for him, the bar is so high for him that when he underperforms, everyone's looking at every little thing just to criticize him for, including this. Like, is he genuinely happy? I'm sure he won a championship.
Yeah, he's
fucking happy. He's ecstatic. Maybe he's not processing it normally. Maybe he's not reacting naturally. Yeah. But
I think, I agree. But I guess how I look at it is, it's just like I said, we haven't really seen his personality. Now, I will admit this nigga did steal the fuck out of a lot of sound bites, like what they gonna say now. That moment doesn't hit.
I guess we'll never know. Mic drop.
Yeah.
Not Obama, bro.
Like the what they gonna say now moment, it doesn't hit for you. Like when you look at it in the context of when Steph said that, think about everything that happened leading up to that. Like their team was riddled with injuries after KD left.
It made sense.
Exactly. After KD left, riddled with injuries. Then Clay comes back, Draymond comes back, Steph comes back. They get to the NBA Finals. You got motherfuckers like what's the guy's name from not First Take, the other one, Undisputed. Skip Bayless, tearing him a new one basically because he never won MVP in the finals. It was a constant question of his legacy, and he finally fucking got it.
He carried his team to that team, a weak team. Like that's the worst Warriors team from that dynasty that won a chip. Like that was from the past 5 years. That was like their weakest roster, and he carried them to the chip. Meanwhile, you got carried by your team. You were the second best player on your team, but scoring wise, but defense. Actually, you could argue Derek White was better. You could argue Hottie was better. You could argue Kristaps Porzingis, and then when he wasn't hurt, was better. Like you could argue they all had their moments. And Jaylen Brown was the best, clearly the best player, and he won Finals MVP because of it. Yeah. So it's like, what are they going to say now? They're going to say it wasn't you. That's what they're going to say.
Yeah,
it wasn't you.
There's plenty to say. There's the whole. I mean, they've been saying it all year, fam. You cannot perform well, and your team could still be up by 20. Yeah, and that's not his fault. It's not. It's just Brad Stevens did an amazing job making this fucking team.
Yeah,
point blank period.
The trades they made in the offseason. This is the best starting five of all time. You could argue, like as a well-rounded unit, all five players. That is the most overpowered starting five. Defensively, the way they mesh, all five knockdown shooters. It's like, oh man, it's like it's unfair almost. But
so I don't know. I think. I get it. There's a lot of reasons to hate him. He just needs to work on his authenticity. I think he got a lot of hate as well for that. The picture he took with the trophy. That's nothing like Kobe. I don't.
It's not. People are dragging it, but
like, come on. Like,
I think it's just it's all just a part of the overall hate narrative behind him, and it's all just bubbling up.
It's also
and I feel like it's gonna plague him for the rest of his career because he set the bar is set so high. You're expected to be a top 5 player, and you're just.
I think it's perfect.
You're like a top 20 player.
I think it's perfect for him.
Yeah, you think so?
It's damn near the same shit like Steph, where it's like you should have done it. Somehow Andre Iguodala got it. Yeah. Then KD came and
Steph
KD
won
got it.
MVPs though. Steph is like bona fide.
He still has time to change the narrative. You acting like this motherfucker don't got years to change it.
Yeah,
like,
he's still young.
Things can happen where Jaylen Brown leaves. Yeah, he's like 26. Yeah. Jaylen Brown can leave. That team could leave, and it could be up to him, like to do. It could be the same exact scenario.
I don't see him getting much better than he already is personally, but I don't know. But who knows?
It can happen.
We'll see.
He doesn't have to get much better. He just actually, yes, he can. You just said he played like shit in the NBA Finals. He's not a shitty fucking player. So the bar is where it should be at. Better. Like, all he has to do is just play to the caliber he plays in a regular season, and he's fucking fine. That's literally the same exact problem Steph had.
Yeah. Well, Steph was doing it, though. I mean, but you know what? To be fair, though, Steph was older when he won those. His first championship, I think he was like 28. So, you know.
He has time.
He got time.
I think people are just jumping to a conclusion. Like, the story's not fully written yet. Like, let's wait and see what happens. But I think this is perfect for him. He's gonna have that same exact moment, and it's gonna feel 100 times better when he wins.
You know what's just really frustrating? I was watching this whole playoffs, and he'll have some weak dude guard in the clutch. He's just so passive. He'll just stay in the corner, and like if you're the best player on your team, you're the best scoring option.
You talking about the NBA Finals?
In the whole playoffs, in the entire playoffs. I was watching him against Indiana. He'd have like Andrew Nembhard, a 6'2" guard guarding him. You're Jayson Tatum. You're 6'8". In the clutch, you're supposed to be isoing and getting a bucket on it every time. Okay. You're a top 5 player allegedly. You're all NBA first team as an offensive player for your talent, and you're not like dominating in the clutch. You're not,
and it happens.
But the whole playoffs, like he was just like he had a couple moments here and there, but it was.
You act like he's the only superstar to do that. Like, but that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like that's the point I'm trying to make. The hate is just overreacting to a 26-year-old that can definitely improve.
I don't know.
The worst he did was this. There's definitely a high.
I think what he is as a player is fine, but I don't think he's going to be ever a top 5, top 10 player. Like I don't know. I think this is
not on that fucking team.
He is. He's like a Grant Hill type player.
Not on that fucking team. That team is too well constructed for him to not be one.
I mean, I guess you could argue
it'll never happen.
Team, but anyway, let us know what you think in the comments, though.
Yeah.
Do you think Tatum's going to be a legend. He gonna be a GOAT. You think it's gonna be Kobe?
I think it's at a GOAT. All right, let's not drag the GOAT talks. All right, guys.